Well, hello and welcome to another update for Litecoin. In our last update, we had what appeared to be a bullish setup with a 5-wave impulse developing, and the same thing was the case for most of the crypto coins, actually, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as many different altcoins. The stock market had also looked bullish, and although we've been in a bit of a pullback over the past few days, things are still looking relatively good. This is an update on the short-term chart for Litecoin, what we've been seeing recently and what to expect over the near term. These charts, this one, including the long-term one that I'll go over later, will be available in the description below, so check out the links there. But we had our potential 5-wave impulse shown as you see here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I do call this higher low here the actual bottom, just because the shape makes a bit more sense. And since then, we've had about a relatively deep retrace, but not too far out of standard for what I'm calling the second wave. And really, if we assume that this is the second wave back here, we should be done with this pullback. I would expect to turn around pretty quickly because this could easily count as a nested first wave setup. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly a leading diagonal for the subwave one of our larger wave 3. If that is the case, we need to see a turnaround right now, and we need to break through our pivot zone, which is between the 0.618 and 0.764 extensions of our larger pattern. That falls right around 59.72 and 62.50. Once we get through there, we don't want to come back down below 59.72. There will be resistance there because that was the recent high from June 26th. If we can get there, that will more or less confirm that we are either in a third wave, the bullish interpretation, or a wave C. We do have an alternate interpretation of what has transpired over the past few weeks right here. That is the red pattern, which sees this whole thing as an ABC fake out rally, which is possible because you have an ABC clear through wave pattern up, through wave pattern down, and an impulse up. So this very well could be a C wave with a lower low to come. How much lower? Probably not much lower. Could be a nominally lower, and that's been the same story for most of the crypto space. We do see a bit of an MACD divergence here on our latest pullback, so that's a good sign. If we do continue upwards, expect us to get to about $74 to $78 for our third wave, and a final top around $81 to about $86. If we get that rally and we get a pullback, a higher low, that would be a great time to go in for a larger purchase. Now, shifting over to other cryptos, other coins are looking similar, although Bitcoin did out rally pretty much everything else. It has also pulled back quite dramatically. So this may be a nested one first wave. I don't see this as a 1, 2, and a 3 and a 4 because it's pulled back a little too deep to be that. So a little bit ambiguous what we're seeing in Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. Other coins such as Bitcoin Cash. Well, Bitcoin Cash never got going in the first place, so I haven't really been looking to it for, too many hints. Dash, very similar posture to what we're seeing in Litecoin, in which this could be a nested 1-2 setup. The proportions seem to fit and make sense. And finally, when you look at Chainlink, which often has signaled things changing ahead of most of the other cryptos, exact same setup in which you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is credible as a leading diagonal and has also a similarly deep pullback, which is typical in a after a diagonal. You typically see a sharp reversal. There was excitement in the stock market as well. This is the ES mini futures, which represents the S&P 500, and this does trade overnight, which gives us a little bit more clues as to the major inflection points. But we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually going to remove these drawings real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or well, we were looking for a fifth wave, but then we tore right back down. So we really had a 3-wave structure up. So this best counts as an ABC, possibly an A wave, pullback as a B wave, and well, it's not the most bullish looking upside continuation since very ambiguous shape. This could be a 1, 2 with a larger impulse on its way. That could be a C wave, or we may be starting a big correction. So nothing particularly confidence inspiring in the short term from the stock market, at least. So cryptos are looking a little bit better relative to that. Big picture, things haven't changed much at all. We went over this newer interpretation of our overall historic structure for Litecoin, I believe 1 or 2 updates ago, and I've actually reconfigured most of the long-term charts for these altcoins, and they more or less align with slight differences in the subwave structure. As for our MACD, we are still maintaining divergence. We haven't broken any supports yet, so that low that we hit back on June 12th remains as is, and you can kind of see the new rally that has been budding ever since. See a higher low, so that could actually looks pretty nice here. It does look like an impulsive 5-wave structure with a wave 2 pullback. Doesn't look like it's too deep just yet, so that is good news. The pessimistic interpretation would be red, that we have a lower low. Now, if we get a nominally lower low, as I was hinting at in our short-term picture, it would just reset the count. It wouldn't really do too much technical damage. So that means that we could actually drop somewhere below our June 12th low of around 38.73 and no lower than about 25.60. That would basically, I would see that as a continuation of this C wave that we're seeing. And when I say C wave, I see this as an A, B, and a C. And when you look at your Fibonacci extensions, we hit about pretty fair range, pretty textbook for a C wave, especially in a fourth wave. However, if we break that support around 25.28, we could be heading a good bit lower. The same pattern stands in Dash, as well as several other coins. EOS is the only altcoin I know about at the moment that has taken the more bearish pattern, and it's been struggling to get back above our primary support. And that does see that this entire rally from our bottom in late 2018 has not completed yet. So, or was actually a fake out. In other words, this whole thing was a fourth wave. What am I talking about? Well, just to refresh our big picture, this top back here, end of 2017 and early 2018, was a major third wave top, not just in Litecoin, but just about every cryptocurrency, the stock market, and many other segments, many other asset classes. So that is a major inflection point. And although Litecoin doesn't have as much history as Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dash, it is best interpreted as a major third wave top in sentiment. You can actually clearly see it illustrated in Dash, in which our first wave and our second wave happened long before Litecoin existed back in 2014, 2015. Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, well, at least Bitcoin goes back even further than that. And this is very much a third wave based on the Fibonacci extensions. Now, shifting back to Litecoin, assuming that is our, whoa, what happened right there? That is our third wave. This is best interpreted as a fourth wave pullback, which again, pulled back here. This is our purple pattern, which means we have our fifth wave left. And so far, it appears to be unfolding as an ending diagonal pattern. Ending diagonals are also 5 waves, just like impulses, but the internal structures, the subwaves, are all 3-wave form. So an A, B, C, A, B, C. And of course, the corrective waves are always going to be ABCs anyways, 3-wave zigzags, and they cut very deeply. We have certainly seen a deep retrace in the fourth wave. So this looks like a textbook standard diagonal pattern, and they often abide by, well, they often track within a trend channel. And that's what you're seeing here. These dotted lines are giving us a relatively robust projection of where we're going to end up. And it gives us a clue on the timing as well. If this does continue as is, we have that strong confluent zone of confluence around 715, which is the 1.764 extension of our 1-2. That is a standard topping target for an ending diagonal or a leading diagonal, whichever one it is. In this case, an ending diagonal because it's the last rally, the last part of this entire structure. And well, the timing is putting us sometime in 2023. If I slide this thing over, that's probably fall of 2023. If I slide it back a little over this way, again, August, again, the timing is not exact. It's just a relative projection. We're going to have a much better idea of where we're going to go once we have this AB setup. And again, I don't expect the 5 of impulse to finish this rally because again, the subwaves, the rally should be 3-wave zigzag form, as we saw here from the March 2020 bottom to the 2021 top. Count that as an A, B, and a C. I would expect the same thing here. Expect an A wave, pull back in the B wave, and then we will be off to the races to that 700 mark. Where is this top telling us? Projecting about 123. When we look at our small picture, this does not project that high, but I can quickly put a fib extension together to give you guys an idea. Let's suppose that we do have this rally unfold like so, maybe in this region around $84 top. Let's call that a 38% retrace. That would project to about somewhere between $140 and $150. So that would actually land us right in the box. In other words, this rally that we're trying to complete right now, which has a long way to go still, could be the first subwave of the larger A wave that we should unfold. So this would be a 1-2. Maybe we have a bigger structure here, and eventually deep pullback and a final impulse up into that box. Let me just visualize this so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. Where's my here we go, ABC. So suppose that we have a structure that goes to about 80 something between A, pullback, and then we have a C wave top somewhere in that box. That would probably be my the most likely outcome if we do have a bullish continuation of what we're seeing. Otherwise, as I mentioned, we have that red pattern, which sees this entire pullback as, well, not complete yet. So that would mean that this is an A wave back at the bottom of December of 2018. Fake out rally all the way up in the May of 2021 would be a B wave. And our final C wave would take us into this box somewhere sub $20, below $20, based on an equivalence of A to C, the C wave equaling the A wave pullback. So I don't see that as a strong possibility at the moment. Purple is my primary, and this would coincide with the everything top. I've been talking about this in all my videos, in which we should see pretty much every market asset class coincidentally top sometime in 2023. That's what the projections are showing us. I have a video on that called the everything top. Check that out if you are curious, but that could be the start of a colossal bear market. Get prepared. I'll have plenty of content on this channel covering that, how to prepare for it. Subscribe so that you don't miss those. Final question is it a good time to buy? We're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. If you want to buy, better buy a little bit at a time, dollar cost average. I don't think it's a great time to buy a lump sum just yet. Let's wait for at least the smaller 5-wave impulse to develop. So get into about the $80 range and pull back there. That could be a good place to buy. Or you wait for this larger A wave and B wave to complete. That would be the place to buy, because we could go from $70 up 10x from there. So that could be exciting. And finally, if you have a lot of cash tied up in Litecoin, I strongly recommend spraying it out. There's so many different coins to choose from. Chainlink, Polkadot, Dash, Stellar Lumens, EOS. I could go on and on. Break it up. Unless you're dealing with Bitcoin or Ethereum, the two big OG coins, it is far too dangerous to put everything into all your eggs in one basket. You don't know which ones are going to excel or which ones could fail and go offline altogether. So there is my 2 cents on how to buy. Give me a like if you enjoyed my video. Till next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.